What's up, Guardians, and welcome back to another how-to solo flawless guide for 2025. Today we're going to be looking at the Prophecy Dungeon, which launched about mid-2020 back in Season of Arrivals. This dungeon's a fantastic dungeon. All the mechanics hold up to date. We'll be going over all the encounters, all the builds that we might need. Additionally, we'll be talking about some tips or tricks, as well as some of the difficult parts of this dungeon still today. But in order to know all these things, we have to talk about the first bit here. And in order to get the doors open, we need to activate both totems, light and dark. You need 5 totems per each. In order to get dark motes, you have to stand in the dark and kill the knight. In order to get the light motes, you have to kill the knights while standing in the light parts of the map. Additionally, we'll be going over our build, which consists of running the Striker Titan, specifically Thunder Crash. We have Rally Barricade as well as High Lift, Thunderclap, and Pulse Grenade. For our aspects, we're running Storm's Keep and Knockout. And for our fragments, we have Spark of Shock, Spark of Feedback, Spark of Resistance, and Spark of Frequency. For our weapons, we have selected Lord of Wolves Exotic Shotgun. Additionally, we have Breach Light Sidearm and Commemoration. For our armor, we are running the Insurmountable Skull Fort with Hands On and Heavy Ammo Finder. For our arms, we're running Heavy Handed as well as a Solar Loader. For our chest piece, we have Concussive Dampener and Solar and Arc Resistances. For our boots, we have Recuperation and Double Solar Weapon Surge. And for our mark, we are running Reaper, Bomber, and Powerful Attraction. Lastly is our Tablet of Ruin. Feel free to pause the screen and see exactly which mods we're running for this season. How the first encounter works is the same way as the entryway to this dungeon, so we need to get 5 motes to get the either light or dark mote to dunk on the platforms. Now, I believe in every instance of starting this encounter, it is always 2 light and 2 dark. If that is the case, we need to kill 2 knights per platform, so it should be about 8 knights in total. As a tip, I would just say be mindful of where you're standing. It does not always feel good to kill more knights than you have to get the correct mote to drop. Additionally, I would say be mindful of where the main boss is standing, and if any point he gets too close to you, he will begin a boop mechanic to push you off the map. And the best way to start damage is by recovering from that with Thunder Crash, Rally Barricade, and then using Lord of Wolves on his backside.
You what?
As a quick tip for this boss, I would suggest do not shoot directly into the shield like I'm doing here. Shoot him in the face, it does the most amount of damage. Occasionally an ad will pop up as well, preventing you from doing any damage because there will be a beam connecting them to the boss from the ad, making them immune. Be sure to eliminate all ads to prevent the immunity phase. If you do this correctly, we should look at a 1 phase. I didn't do this correctly, so I did have to do a 2 phase, but hey, it all counts. We got through the first boss. After a short-lived victory, be sure to grab your loot, jump into the pink sand to be transported into the Wasteland area. Once there, you'll have to kill several waves of ads, as well as 3 blighted spheres. You'll have to enter the sphere to do damage to them. I use the Commemoration. I also used Lord of Wolves, whatever's easiest for you. After killing the 3 spheres in one area, a Toland light will be found in the middle. Touch that and then repeat this process 2 more times, then begin to traverse to the next part of the dungeon. This can be found here just by finding the Toland light next to this tower. Once you enter the next tower, you will see a Toland light on the ground. From a build perspective, we use the same build we just ran, being the Thunder Crash Titan. We did change up some of our weapons just to feel a little bit more comfortable in the arena, but this is up to you. If you want to use the same things you just used, by all means, just stay alive. In order to get the knights to spawn, to get the correct motes, you'll have to kill the snipers at the top of the rooms. Once you do, some knights will spawn. The same mechanic happens here. You have to stand in the dark to get the dark motes, and you have to stand in the light to get the light motes. You'll know which motes to grab based on the pool underneath the Toland light. So if the pool underneath the Toland light is dark, you need dark motes. Once you activate the dark motes on the correct pool, you can go back to the center of the room and then ascend up. You have to repeat this cycle several times before you get to the boss. There's 2 bosses in this room. They're quite easy to kill. You can easily thunder crash one of them, throw your rally barricade down, and then begin shooting them with your commemoration or whatever gun you have. This should be a very quick damage phase to kill the 2 yellow bar bosses. After that, you'll be able to collect your loot and then jump up where you entered the encounter. Once you've gone down the hallway after collecting your loot, you can take a hard right. Once you get back into the Wasteland area, I would suggest jumping on your skimmer or your sparrow, whatever you have. This next encounter, I would say, is much easier on a skimmer, so feel free to equip that. If you don't have that, that's totally okay. You can use the rainbow ribbons all the way down, and if you don't want to use your sparrow, that's totally fine too. It's going to take a lot longer, but you can walk all the way down these. I would say be careful of the snipers that are on this map if you're taking your boots or sparrow approach. If you're using the skimmer, you can easily take the not exploited area the way that I'm doing here in this clip. So this is a much faster method. Just do this. Just go to Zur, use your strange coins, go get a skimmer. This is the best way to do this. Once you've gone down the entire path, you can grab this secret chest here. Totally optional. You can head back up and then you can finish the Rainbow Road section of the dungeon. This is kind of a weird, finicky part right here. Sometimes it'll take you up immediately, sometimes it won't. I had to jump on my skimmer to get back up here, but eventually it will take you all the way up to the final encounter. Make your way past the Shadowed Thrall here. Not really much of a threat, so just throw a grenade like I did and you're totally fine. Just before the final encounter, we did switch around some of our mods. We do now have a Arc Scavenger for our boots, as well as Arc Weapon Surge, and now we have an Arc Weapon Reloader for our gauntlets. This is to match our Queen's Breaker bow. The Sleeper Stimulant as well would be a very viable option for this encounter. For the mechanics, this works very similarly to the other areas of the dungeon. We have to collect light or dark motes and then dunk them on their respected spots. Once you dunk in the respected spot, an ogre will pop up. Be sure to eliminate that ogre, because if you don't, he's going to roam around the room and he will eventually get you. This does stack up if you do dunk very fast as well, so just be sure to add clear best you can and take out those ogres. Once you've done this 3 times, then you'll be able to jump into the pink sand again, and then you'll be able to start damaging the boss. After jumping into the pink sand, I would suggest doing a quick armor swap from Insurmountable Skullfort to Cures of the Falling Star. This will give you a little bit extra damage during the damage phase. Once you use your ultimate, throw down your rally barricade, begin shooting them with the Queen's Breaker bow or weapon of choice. As a precautionary, I would say keep an eye on your Dark Entropy stacks at the top of your screen. If you get to 10 stacks, you will die. In order to keep these stacks down, you have to stay within range of the boss. You can see on screen the aura around the boss. Be sure to stay within that at all times. If you're outside of that for too long, you will die. Additionally, the blight things the boss is throwing will send you back to the beginning of the map, so don't get hit by that. That also gives Dark Entropy. So the tip here is to stay close to the boss as best you can, but don't get too close where you're gonna get stomped and pushed off the map. So keep a safe distance, take out the snipers, continue moving forward and damaging the boss. You can damage the boss all the way to the end of the map. You will transport several times, but just keep damaging them all the way through. If you don't one-phase this, that's okay. If you don't one-phase it, you'll have to go back to the main room. You'll have to regather your dark and light motes, dunk them on the same spots, as well as killing the ogres. This is a good chance to gather ammo. Once you have enough ammo, you can repeat this cycle as many times as you need. There is no time limit and there is no cap So take your time, play your life, stay close to the boss, but don't get too far to keep your dark entropy stacks down. I believe this took me 2 full runs to do. Again, this is totally doable in 2025. So take your time, play your life, get your rewards, get the cool emblems, get the bunny, ghost, and celebrate. This is your time to say, yes, I have done this dungeon solo flawless now. If you're still here, I want to say thanks for stopping by. Thanks for viewing. That's totally enough for me. If you do want to continue supporting the channel, a like and subscribe go extremely far, as well as comments. Let us know if this video helped you in your prophecy dungeon clear. Additionally, if you want to find us over on Twitch, we do a live Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, so feel free to stop by, say what's up. We're always available to chat. In the meantime, it's been real. Y'all take it easy.